Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone across the globe. This is Priestess Bairavee Balasubramaniam, PhD, wishing all of you a very, very happy new year. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the astrology of 2015 and what we can hope to expect in the year ahead. But before we do that, let's take a moment to reflect on what was 2014. Throughout 2014, we had two alignments that caused pretty much everyone alive an immense deal of stress, of transformation, of change, and these alignments were the Grand Cardinal Cross that peaked in the last week of April 2014, and also the continuing square off between Uranus and Pluto. Now, I've written about these extensively over the past year, and you can find out more on my blog if you're interested. But just as a recap, this has been an intense and incredible year of change, transformation, and awakening. So many of us have changed our sense of who we are, our sense of how we exist in terms of the partnerships that surround us, our role, our perceived role in family dynamics, and our relationship with our own traditions and cultures. And also, many have decided to change their outlook upon what they feel they bring to the world, the legacy they wish to leave, and that may manifest as a different choice in the kinds of career paths they take to fulfill what it is they seek to fulfill. So it has been a time in which all of us have looked at and have changed our views on very, very significant, very, very important aspects of our lives, expressed through the cardinal signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Now, these are energies which I cannot downplay. These are energies which I cannot talk about in uplifting terms as though everything was fine and sweet, because it wasn't. It was a very, very tough year. But here's the good part. We survived it. We got through it. Some of us even thrived. All of us faced either intense obstacles or intense pain. Some of us had to go through different types of grieving. But through all of it, we have come with a renewed sense of self and purpose and understanding of what it is we came to do. Some of us are still going through that process as Uranus and Pluto have not finished their lessons. The 7 final exact square of Uranus and Pluto is still yet to come in March 2015. So our lessons are not done yet. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate. In fact, if anything, I would say this is a real good time to give yourself a big bear hug. Because you deserve it. You earned it. Well, you always deserve a bear hug, but it's a particular moment of celebration and recognition that I'm speaking of. Now, when we look to the astrology of 2015, I feel compelled to say at this exact moment we're having a beautiful conjunction between Ceres and the galactic center. It is an excellent time for you to find and seek guidance through whatever form you wish. The actual conjunction goes exact in about 5 hours and lasts for about a little over 2 days afterwards. It is an energy which really encourages all of us to seek some kind of guidance, be it from teachers, be it from guides or gurus, be it from facilitators or mentors, be it through the paradigm of astrology or structured religious teaching. Whatever form suits you, this is a really, really good time for you to set your intentions and get clear about what you need to do right now and for the year ahead. It is a powerfully nurturing and wonderful energy that Ceres brings conjunct the galactic center at 27 degrees Sagittarius. So please bear that in mind as you watch the rest of this video. I am offering certain special readings for this purpose, but find the guidance in whatever source you are interested in. That is the most important thing. Now, we move to the astrology of 2015 itself. I will not lie. I will say that this energy of 2015 is very, very, very related to 2014. And that's not a reason for you to dismay. It is as though 2014 was the volcanic eruption and 2015 is when it kind of solidifies and we begin to see how the lava flow has actually made barren land into land which is now fertile and rich for vegetation and life form to grow. That's the kind of energy and transformation process that 2015 is sort of following up on. So it isn't to say that there's going to be more of the same. There are going to be certain similar dynamics, but they are going to be used for a very, very different reason and purpose this year. And this year is going to be all about integrating those lessons and coming to terms with them. Because 2014 has just been life changing. It doesn't just stop and then you kind of forget about it. There needs to be a wind down from such a powerful, powerful year. So we're going to go through a few key dates and phases of 2015. Just bear in mind these are the more, I wouldn't say outstanding, but these are the larger trends that are happening. Now, first of all, like 2014, we're going to see once again the great goddess fire trine. This is going to last between January 13th and October 3rd. It is a wonderful portal of energy that allows you to create, to express who you are, to get a deeper understanding of who you are through creative self-expression, particularly those that relate to the themes of the feminine and whatever archetypes of goddesses or other forms of divinities that access that energy. Remember that femininity is not is not limited solely to those who have a female form. You can find feminine aspects in many male spiritual teachers and guides as well. The two ones that stick to my mind, first and foremost, are the energies of the teacher, that is Christ, and also the energies of Lord Shiva. These are masculine energies that bring in very, very feminine dynamics as well. So it's not a male-female binary. Everyone can access this energy and work with it in powerful ways. It is really a year for the goddess and her spiritual facilitators, for the feminine and its rising as we seek to bring ourselves back into wholeness and completion that is happening between January 13th and October 3rd. So that's one of the major differences that this year brings, and why and how it will feel so very different, similar in some ways, but still very, very different from 2014. The next thing we see coming soon up is and again, in the broad sweep and overview of things, we've got the first Mercury retrograde that will be in Aquarius, that is between January 21st and February 11th. It'll be a great time for you to reflect upon all the lessons that Uranus in particular has taught you. March 16th, we will have the final square off between Uranus and Pluto. This is going to be a big one. And those of you who work in the chakra paradigm may want to seriously anchor and have a look at the base chakra and the crown chakra in particular. Some of us believe that each of the 7 squares relate to different states and awakening of the human energy system. Some of us look at it upwards, some of us look at it downwards. Whichever way you look at it, this is going to be a very, very powerful time. Many of those lessons you have been learning are going to come into culmination at the 7th square. March 14th to August 1st. This is the one which I've been sort of hesitating about, but most of you know it already. Saturn retrogrades. Saturn is going to spend quite a few months retrograding back from Sagittarius and into Scorpio. And I know many of you are sighing at this point, but we just have to deal with it. Saturn in Scorpio is going to ask us to look once again at very, very powerful ancestral dynamics. It's going to ask you to look in the deepest parts of your subconscious, to look in the monsters in your basement and realize they're not just really monsters. They're just parts of you that you've been hiding from yourself. It's also going to be a time in which many of us are going to be tested once again in terms of our relationship with power and how we choose to wield power, whether over ourselves or other people in balanced form. So this is going to be a time where we are basically tested on whether we got the lessons of 2014 and integrated it well enough. And this will be an opportunity to correct or finish whatever lessons that we have not yet integrated. So this is happening between March 14th and August 1st. So these are large periods of time. They keep overlapping, so to speak. So, just bear it in mind, and we will go through it with more details posts as it comes. April 8th, Jupiter goes direct. This is basically when our connection with, our sense of guidance, our connection with pathways of abundance, our connection with just finding and feeling ourselves as a being in a much wider cosmos. This energy goes direct, meaning that it is more accessible, particularly through external events, people, teachers, and guides. It's not so much focused completely on the self, but it really resonates with what comes into our life from outside going inwards. It is an energy which will also see a greater, which will allow us to see a greater ease and facilitation of any kind of creative pursuits, even love affairs, any kinds of teachings which involve children or which encourage children to develop their own capacities, particularly those that involve stereotypically defined creative activities such as um, art and that kind of thing. It's a wonderful time for all of us to really get in touch with and access and address the inner child within and to allow it to express its magic in the world. So this is wonderful. That's happening April 8th when Jupiter goes direct in Leo. May 18th to June 19th, Mercury retrogrades once more, this time in Gemini. This time we are asked to review the way we think about things, the way we communicate and express our truth in our immediate environment, and also our relationship with our siblings. The next on the list, and this one is again, it's overlapping with the other dates. Saturn will be in Scorpio between June 15th to September 18th. This is really a time where we are revisiting the most intense lessons of 2014. Bear this in mind again, June 15th to September 18th. The dates and times are given, I'm giving are based on GMT plus 0, so London time, as I wrote this for a different purpose. So just bear in mind that there may be a plus minus difference depending on where you are in the world. So just bear in mind that this may be unusually familiar, but it's only about 3 months of the year. So, but the rest of the year has a fairly different energy signature as well. And then after that, we have another retrograde, which is taking place between July 24th and September 5th. Venus will retrograde first into Virgo and then into the sign of Leo. The way we think about our material value systems, the way we relate to things, people, relationships are under scrutiny at this time. It's really a good time to take stock and do some inventory about our relationship with the material world and all of its manifestations. August 11th, Jupiter will enter Virgo. This is a fantastic, phenomenal time in which we are called to once again serve. Whether we are priests or priestesses or any type of spiritual facilitators, this is when the blessings of the guides, of whatever guidance we have, be it in heaven or earth, basically help us to go forward on our path of service. This is an excellent time for those of you interested in entering the path of spiritual facilitation or particular spiritual vocation. Whether it's priest, priestess, witch, shamanka, shaman, that's up to you. But it's really a time where Jupiter teaches us how to serve and how to gain the lessons we need for our greatest growth through the path of service. August 25th, Black Moon Lilith enters Libra. This is where the dark, rising, raging, or suppressed feminine enters the sign of balance. As far as I'm concerned, Libra is the most powerful sign in the zodiac. It is the one sign which allows you to coexist with the ambiguities and paradoxes in the world. It is not necessarily an energy that just looks for beauty, harmony, and peace. It is an energy that can integrate light and dark. It can integrate anything. It can hold everything in balance in the same way that the gods and goddesses in the Hindu pantheon have 8 arms holding seemingly contradictory elements together. That is what Libra can bring, and these are the lessons that the rising or the dark feminine bring to us through this process. So that's going to be a very, very interesting energy for those of us who are doing our level best to break through the many shackles that have been placed upon the rising feminine. This is really where we learn how to use our energies in a balanced form and to craft our paths in a way that straddle all worlds, and choice of word is intentional. Now, coming towards the end of the year, we have between September 17th and October 8th, we have the final Mercury retrograde, this time in Libra. It's going to be very, very interesting considering Black Moon Lilith is also there. Really a time to review the status quo in our partnerships, both personal and professional. And finally, the biggest event or rather the last major event of 2015, as far as I understand it and see it, is October 10th. This is when the North Node finally shifts into the sign of Virgo and it leaves Libra. But as it is making its transition out of Libra, it is going to pass Black Moon Lilith. That's going to be a very, very important time as well. When the North Node enters Virgo and the South Node enters Pisces, once again, the energy of service and facilitation is emphasized. And in Virgo, eventually the North Node will meet Jupiter as it transits backward through that sign. So really, if I were to summarize this particular year, it is a year where, whilst we're sort of cleaning up from what happened from 2014, we are all rising in our awareness and in our consciousness of one, our pathways of service and facilitation, two, our relationship with the rising divine feminine and that sacred link between the feminine and the creative sides of us. And three, our ability to integrate and move forward from what was probably one of the most intense years in recent decades. So this is my review of 2014 and my presentation of 2015. There are many other things that are happening this year, but these are the major big guns, so to speak. This is the basic overview and framework through which all of this works. So I thank you so much for your time, your patience. Remember that the next few days are going to be an excellent time for getting guidance and spiritual work done from any source that you trust and are comfortable with. So make sure you get that done for yourself in this time. Celebrate, enjoy yourselves during this new year, and remember that this is a year where you can truly act upon the seeds of transformation that you set in the year before. So to all of you, have a wonderful 2015 and Vanakkam.